All right. Hello, everybody in Facebook Live land. We are the Podguyz Podcast, bringing it to you as we do every Monday, 10:15 Eastern Standard Time. I'm Tony Kaz, followed by
Kevin Neary here.
Kevin Neary. Kevin Neary.
You're the one that hicked up on the goddamn follow through there, dude. So
stop it.
Just
I love you. We're still missing the late Picasso, of course.
Where did he go?
Where in the world is Sparky San Diego?
He draws what he sees. That is our feature product this week. I Draw What I See Sparky t-shirt. You can grab it at thepodguyzpodcast.com. That is the Podguyz, G-U-Y-Z, Podguyzpodcast.com. They are only $24.99. Buy two, get them both for $50. That's right. We charge you more when you buy more.
But no shipping. No shipping.
No shipping. You don't pay for shipping.
We don't pay for shipping.
We just bake it into the price. We just charge you for it anyways. And you'd think you're getting it for free because we put the word in there, free. But everything you buy from the Podguyz Podcast increases in value more than gold because gold is a piece of shit to own.
Okay. That's pretty fair.
It really is.
Sorry, it's storming here and it just like thundered really loud. So I was like, "Ooh."
That's right. The gold gods are out there.
We are in the realm of the spooky tonight. And we are joined tonight by Natasha, who is from the hit podcast Cryptids, Creeps, and Conspiracies.
Oh, wait, here.
Oh, look at that.
Oh,
of course, she has her own merch. You can find her merch at...
So my website is www.cryptidscreepsandconspiracy.com. And there's a link that'll take you to the store. Can't miss it. It says merch.
You can find that link in the comments down there below. We will have it in the comments, guaranteed. And hit up the store, buy some stuff. It's the economy I saw on TV is just that good. You can just buy stuff, anytime you'd like,
And Mama needs a new air conditioner.
A lot of fun.
Mama needs a new air conditioner. Mama Natasha needs some cold love.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing though. People are using I think OnlyFans these days, like I am.
OnlyFans.
I only have a fan. Oh shit. Okay, never mind. Don't use that. No. Never mind. I don't have my windows aren't big enough for an air conditioner. I only have fans. Okay. I should have phrased it that way, Tony.
Anyways, back on to Natasha. Tell us a little bit about your show. Of course, Cryptids, Creeps, and Conspiracies. Self-explanatory sometimes. But
I tried to make it as self-explanatory as possible. Now we do get a little bit, I did tie it in with my logo, even though it's not in the name. So we do everything from haunted places where we go over the history of the place, the dark history, anything that has happened that's negative there. And then any reported, sightings or experiences that people encounter when they're there. And some of the places I actually investigate myself. So if it's a place that I've investigated, I'll tell you what I experienced there. If I've caught anything, I had one episode where I, had an EVP that was caught while I was there and I inserted it. With every episode, you get a bonus because almost every single episode, my little invisible friends here like to chime in. So I leave all
you say invisible friends.
Yes,
which
is, all
my
spirits here. There's a bunch and they follow me everywhere. They have for a long time. So they just be aware. I actually have all my sensors on because we'll see a lot of times when I record, I do the video now because so much weird stuff was happening that I wasn't getting. So now we have video available. It's on my Patreon feed. Also link in the thing. But we do anything ghost related, creepy, demonic, just random conspiracies. I don't do a lot of conspiracy alone episodes. I like to put the conspiracy theories in with it. So I have interviews with people that have dogman encounters, Bigfoot encounters, and then I'll put some of the conspiracy theories of those particular topics in with them so that we can get a viewpoint from somebody who's actually experienced it with what they think the conspiracies are, whether they're true, false.
Now you're going to have to enlighten me. I don't mean to cut you off in any way. Dogman, what is that?
So go over and listen to Planet 412 on my show and you'll two-parter. But actually there's 3 because I have one for Harley too. But it's similar to, say, a werewolf as far as a description goes. But the way I look at it is it's kind of like a werewolf, but no one ever associates them with being human at any point. So it's not a person, then a dog man. It's a dog man. A lot of people think of them more as a spiritual or something type of thing, as opposed to being a human that can morph back and forth, if that makes more sense.
Where are those found?
Well, I haven't dug into a specific episode where I just go over everywhere that they might be found. I know there's some people, one of the guys, he's in North Carolina, and he has seen both Bigfoot and Dogman in the same general vicinity. And then
hanging out, or is it
no? There's different times he
miles from each other, or
like he went out and did one because he researches Bigfoot, so he actually goes out and hunts these things, and he's got video evidence. It's Harley. He's Bigfoot. I think it's Bigfoot. I can't ever get the names right. Bigfoot Research and Data. He's like on TikTok. Okay. And he's got his actual footage that he has made on his TikTok feed. So it's not that he's posting other people.
No, he's a legit Sasquatchian.
And then it just so happened that he was out Bigfoot hunting and ran across a dog man. So it was not a intentional situation.
Looking for the dog man itself. Correct. Just
so far I've never heard anybody look for one and find it. It's generally they come up and scare the holy crap. Can we cuss on here?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, scare the piss out of them. All right. And then the other one, I believe, was in Michigan or Ohio. I can never remember. But
so it kind of sounds like, okay, so when people inbreed, they're doing it with their own family. So when they're outbreeding animals, maybe some dude hooked up with...
There's actually multiple theories. That's where we bring in the conspiracy part of it when we talk about it. Some people believe that it's just some sort of like a demonic spirit or something that kind of like a hellhound. There's some people that think that the government has been trying to make this, super animal thing to use for warfare, and they escape or they let them roam to test to see how
I'd love to be in that. I'd love to be in that room, Natasha, where somehow the devil has unlimited power, and they're like, "All right, there, devil, what do you got?" And he's like, "Something like a dog," and they're like, "Whoa,
it has."
All right, and it's really angry.
That's 2 different things, because the other one is they're taking people and they're merging DNA sequences to try to make them bigger.
Okay, I see your point, and I'll raise you a point. All right, there, U.S. military, what do you got? Something like a dog.
And then some people even believe that just like Bigfoot, maybe they're interdimensional, or maybe
I don't mind the Bigfoot theory, because it feels like if you believe in evolution on any scale, right? Bigfoot is a total possibility, where you take the nomadic person and you just separate him from society completely. And they just, you take the giantess theory, of course. You've heard of people used to be giants.
Yeah. With me, some of the things that they have been supposedly known to do totally will not work with that theory, because there's no amount of evolution in the world that can make you cloak on demand or disappear or use a portal or create a portal or anything like that.
Okay, all right.
So some people think they're alien. Like
we could get into the whole.
So let's get that straight right off the bat. Do you believe in other world? Not to say other world creatures, but creatures not of this world in general.
I think what she's kind of referring to a little bit is the theory of a multi-dimensional plane that we're all living on, sort of thing. Am I close to that idea?
That's one theory that people have. I try to stay open to a lot of things. And because of so much stuff that I've experienced, that people are like, oh, there's no way. And I'm like, I fucking saw it. Like, this son of a bitch, it just happened to me. I watched it. I heard it. I felt it, everything. The weird stuff that my brain does. I'm like,
Natasha, let's go down that road.
Yeah.
We're gonna veer left.
Yep.
And we are going straight down it.
Yeah.
Tell us about your first experience and what happened.
Oh my gosh, just got goosebumps everywhere.
Ready.
Okay. Holy moly.
Wait, let's play the scary music.
Yeah. Well, normally it doesn't happen unless there's like something in here. And that's something that I told you killed my air conditioner, killed my fan, killed all my batteries. It killed
energy succubus.
Everything, just sucked everything out. Same thing. And I've literally been basically hanging out with this thing since I was about 15. And so get this, you guys know how this works. I am from a tiny town, right? I lived in the middle of nowhere. We were 10 minutes from anything. And one night when you're 15, you know, you get your permit and you're like, yeah, like, let me get the keys. I'll take anything.
Let's go crazy.
Yeah, let's do it hog wild. Now,
oh yeah,
this trip was not very far. So where I lived, we had a like an oval driveway with two driveways that came out to the main road. My house was right on the corner of one side, and then it kind of looped around so you could, you know, exit both directions. But on the loop one side, it went straight back, and my aunt and my uncle built a house back there, and there was just a pond in between the two of us. So it was literally like, I don't know, you could probably shoot their window from my house. I mean, it was not far. Anyway, so for whatever reason, my mom needed something. I don't know if it was sugar or I don't know what the hell this woman was doing it late at night, but whatever. We're all nuts. So she asked me if I could go get some. And I was like, yeah, give me the keys. I'll do this. Right. So I get in this Mercury minivan, 15 years old, and I get in and I took driver's ed. So I'm like, can I see in the mirror?
For people that don't know, Mercury is a car model.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
She did not get into a Mercury.
No, I did not.
A
I'm not a
minivan
Martian
that is
or
made or
anything.
filled of mercury. We're gonna get them in the comments,
Yeah.
Natasha.
Okay.
I can fucking feel it already.
It was a tan champagne colored minivan.
Okay.
And I get in, I'm checking all my mirrors and stuff, and I put my hands on 10 and 2, like a good little girl. And I went to start the car. And when I leaned forward to turn it over, it was like every hair just stood up. I mean, like just straight up, my arms, all up my neck.
You get a zap right through your body.
Oh, it was insane. And it was very much the feeling when you, like, you know, you turn, you catch somebody like staring at you. Like if you've ever been to a restaurant and you're like, man, someone's looking at me, and you find out somebody's just like dozing or whatever and just like looking at you.
Usually when Kevin invites me to dinner, that's what happens. I usually get that. I get that feeling that somebody's watching me.
That's when Tony knows the roofie is starting to kick in.
I love it.
That's true. Yeah, by the way.
I
don't remember 6 hours afterward, but
I can't paint him when he's awake. He just moves too much. So.
Fun fact, that actually happened to me once.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, it was not good. But anyway, we digress.
Continue on.
So I go to start and like everything stands up, and I got this feeling like something's watching me. And out of the corner of my eye, I just see this black mass like in the passenger seat. And me being 15, I've not had to deal with any of this crap before. I was like, okay, I'm going to turn, I'm going to look, and it's going to disappear, right? Because that's what happens. You see things out of the corner of your eye, you look, and they're gone. So I'm like, okay. And something just felt different. It was just like this really oppressive, just weird feeling. And so I like really slowly turned, and it didn't leave. It was sitting like in the seat. It looked like it was sitting in the seat next to me. And it was like turned and looking at me. And it had this arm that came out, and it was on the dashboard. And it had these huge, like, pointy fingers, like the Grinch with Jim Carrey, but not fuzzy. And they were jet black and sharp. And it's like it was waiting for me to turn to look at it. And when I turned, like I said, it was just sitting down, and it was just all black, but it had these two big sockets where its eyes would be that it was almost like they were even blacker than black. I mean, I
Now,
can't
have you
like,
researched that at all as far as like
mm,
what type of, because
no,
it sounds fairly familiar. And not to say that like we've
have you
had people who do see spirits on the show, of course, and the way that they have always described what they're trying to see
yeah.
is that
Um,
particular entity.
have you ever seen the movie Spirited Away? It's a
Mm,
Japanese cartoon about a girl. She's and then like they think they always kind of associate the old lady that she lives with like a Baba Yaga,
yes. Okay.
and it has the mask, the
Yeah.
little
Yeah. Yeah.
mask. Okay, if you could take his mask off
Yeah.
and just have these two deep sockets, like they were almost like black holes.
Yeah.
It's like they were so dark that they were pulling things in. Like there was nothing there. Like it was really deep. And I just sat there and like I was just staring at it. It was staring at me. We're just like having this like stare down because I'm going, like, am I crazy? Like, what am I looking at? What's happening? What is this thing? And I was like, am I dreaming? Like, what's going on? And the whole time it's just staring at me. It didn't try to touch me, nothing. It just sat there and it felt like it was taking, I don't know how to explain it, almost like I guess you could say, for those of you who believe in everything like that, almost like it was trying to take some of my soul out. Like it was
Well,
pulling.
I was just gonna get to that, Natasha. Now you've been dealing with this for 15 to 20 years, and I've done enough deep dives into some weird stuff. I'm always a very big skeptical person when it comes to psychics and stuff like that. What's going on?
Oh,
I
that's the
tried to draw
picture.
it. So these two things here
Okay.
are kind of what I'm looking at. Sorry, I know it's not the greatest brightness, is killing me.
The we just upload it into the comments if you have the opportunity to, so that way people
Yeah.
can see what you're sharing with us on the screen. And for those of you who are not visually seeing this, we're going to try our best to describe it while looking at it in the
This
comments.
is my
But Natasha,
YouTube.
there is a there is a theory out there that certain aliens are harvesting us specifically for our souls, and if not interdimensionally, possibly wearing suits to cloak themselves from our actual plane of sight. So, my question is it possible that it's not somebody from the dead, but it's just somebody that wants to reveal themselves to you and they want whatever soul is in you that for some odd reason feels like it is special to them? Is that a possibility?
And can I also add something?
Yeah.
The two houses that were behind you, were they passed away?
The houses? I was
Yeah,
still in my
that you said
driveway.
that lived in your by your aunt and uncle, or
So sorry, that was me. I turned my thing on. I was trying to find the live on here on your guys' thing, but I don't. It's not popping up with the one we're on right now. I
Hmm.
don't know why.
here
hang
I'll
on. Sorry, guys. Please hold.
that's
So
all right. Anywho,
interesting fact: my aunt and uncle's house, when they built it, they had to tear down the original house that was there. That it's like my great grandparents built. So we have been the only ones on this land. It's just us and my family. And because of the experiences that I've had with spirits that were once human, I know, like I can tell, I can picture who they are, what they look like. I might not know a whole lot about them, but I can at least tell you what they generally would look like. This thing, there was nothing about this thing.
it was very
Seemed
blobby.
like it was ever human. Just even the I don't know, I guess I can't think of another word besides vibe, but
Oh, I'd use vibe then.
The presence, the presence.
yeah, yes, like if it's a person, it's almost like you can still feel the remnants of who they are. You know they're human, and you can figure out what's going on. This thing was just dark and empty, and it's like it was just taking something like deep and pulling it out. And eventually I just, closed my eyes and I was like, nope. I'm like, you're not here. You've got to go, like, leave, whatever. I mean, I was like, get the fuck out of here. Like, I don't want anything to do with you. And then I opened my eyes and I, kind of glanced over and it was gone.
Well, you
But wait,
unwelcomed it, which was
there's
you know,
more. But wait, there's
Okay.
more. So I go up to my aunt's, and I grab the sugar, and I come back. And right whenever I'm getting ready to turn to go down my portion of the driveway, at the very end of her straightaway, right by the road, is a very old, like, I would call it a street lamp, but not quite, not like a pretty street lamp. It was basically a pole with what looked like a trash can lid with this old ass bulb, in it. It's just not a normal street lamp. But anyway, and as I'm getting ready to turn, that same thing came out from under my van. And it was like scurrying, I guess would be the best motion I could come up with. And it was, it's so gross. But its knees and its elbows were bent up like a cricket. Like they were bent upward. And it was scurrying, and it was doing that weird, like, glitchy movement, similar, like, kind of like the Ring. Where it was just like, glitch in and out real fast. And it went all the way up to the light pole, and it went up the pole. And when it crawled up the pole, its arms and feet were sticking out like this, and it was like shimmying, like a lizard almost. And it goes up to the top, and when it hit the top of the light exploded and just turned off. And 2 days later, the county had to come out and replace it. So it did something.
That's
and then
crazy.
Yeah, and that was the first time I saw it. And then it disappeared for, well, until about maybe 7 months ago. It came back.
So just recently.
Yeah, just like a visit. And I think that's the thing that causes a lot of problems in here. It's not very nice. And I can always I can feel it. And I think because I have been around it before, it's easier for me to identify it compared to something else. But I was in bed and I woke up, which is weird, huh?
Nothing. I'm sorry.
Oh, but I woke up and I was looking around my room, and it's 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. And so everything should be dark, right? But it was almost like there was a blue hue around the room. It was like a bluish greenish color, just enough lit up that I could see the outline of like my dresser and everything. And then out of the side, because I was laying on my back, which, let me tell you, girls like me, we do not lay on our back. Like, suffocation potential here. So I never lay on my back, but I was on my back when I was awake, and I was like, okay, this is weird. And I was just kind of looking around being like, this is odd. Like, something's not right here. I couldn't figure it out. I was thinking to myself, like, am I sleeping or am I awake? I was trying to figure all of this out. And out of the corner of my eye, I saw the same arm with the pointed black fingers, and it came like real slow, like right at me. And I looked right at it, and I didn't even move. Like, I didn't even try to move. Nothing about me felt threatened. It was literally like, I was like, oh, hi again. Like, I just recognized it. And it went out and it reached out, and I had a t-shirt on just like this. And it just took its fingernail, this is the pointer finger, and it just did 3 little streaks right here. And I could feel it. It was almost like a kitchen knife. If somebody were to take a kitchen knife and just barely touch you, almost like, I could hurt you if I want to, but I'm not going to. And it just did it 3 times, and then it backed up, and then I woke up, and I was like, well, that was really fucking weird. And
yeah, good times.
Yeah, I was like, what just happened? And like, I'm looking around, and nothing's moved, nothing's anywhere. It was just kind of like, hey. And then when I woke up that day, everywhere I went, everything was like malfunctioning. I went to work, every computer I touched malfunctioned, my car wouldn't start, everything, like my phone just drained of battery, like super fast all day. It's just like everything just went and just had a moment. It was really weird.
That's crazy.
So okay, I'm sure you've reached out. Now, that's a lot to take in for our people that are just joining us. Natasha was explaining to us her first encounter with the spiritual world and how it revisited her 7 months ago, approximately. Am I right?
Yep.
Just to recap, if anybody did want to, if anybody was sucked into that story enough and they were wondering exactly what was going on at that moment. Now, Natasha, I'm sure, have you tried, and I'm sure maybe you have, but I'll just ask it anyways. Have you tried, and if you have tried and have succeeded, to find another person out there that has experienced similar, if not the same thing What was that like? And is it a yes? Is it a no? What's going on?
I've not really found anybody who has had exactly. There's been some people that have had something similar, but not quite. A lot of the people that get something that's close are generally people that experience they're not night terrors. Oh my goodness. My
Sleep
brain just left me.
paralysis.
Thank you. Sleep paralysis. And a lot of times, because I was like, oh, and I was like, no, I was like, the first time when I did any of this, I was like, I was awake for the whole thing. I was like, I wasn't even tired. I don't take Benadryl. PS, I have ADHD, so Benadryl does not do to me what it does to other people. So that doesn't work. Now, what I thought was interesting was my mom had mentioned at one point, like way later, that there was something. Now, hers was more of like a sleep paralysis situation. She was in bed, same house, and she was in bed and she woke up and couldn't move. And all she said was there was a big black mass that was at the foot of her bed and was looming over her, and she could not move or do anything about it.
Wow.
But she never explained to me exactly what it looked like. She just said a dark mass. So I'm like,
when did she tell you? She told you this at what age were you? Because that's a hell of a thing to tell to a child where you're like, and go to sleep now. You know?
In her defense, again, that was not the first thing that's happened by any means.
How old were you, Natasha? How old were you during that time?
15.
Okay, all right. So she told you that when you were 15. I thought you were like 7 years old, and she's like, by the way,
oh no,
there's a big
good luck with that.
I think she told it to me later because I finally was like, what is happening to me? Because in that same house, I saw 2 other things in the same house, one of which at least 4 other people have seen. So I know it wasn't just me, because when I brought it up, she asked me, is this what she looked like? And I was like, yeah. She was like, yeah, you saw it. Just, oh, that's the girl. It's just a girl. She doesn't hurt anything. She's fine. A lot of people see her. Like it was nothing.
I mean, if you wonder why some houses are on a better sale for no apparent reason, that might be one of the reasons right there. Some of them come with a ghost child. You know.
Yeah, and even to this day, only my family has lived there ever. So it's either my cousins lived there that grew up in the house that was down the road or down the driveway. And so it was just us and then them, and then they moved there, and then the brother moved there.
So getting back on a little bit more of a track, so to speak. Tell us more about your podcast and who you have on there and what are.
Oh yeah, we totally just blew by that one, didn't we? Okay, so again, I do interviews with people that have experiences. So also anybody, which by the way, shameless plug here, if anybody out there has any weird stuff, it doesn't matter if it's Bigfoot, Dogman, ghost, I had one with aliens, any type of encounter that you've had, please, I would love for you to send it in, because when I get enough of those episodes, I get to do listener stories. And if you would like me to change your name so that way it's not calling you out, I am totally fine with that. You just got to let me know. And I will be more than happy to make up funny names for you, because that's what I did in the last one and it was fun. Now, we do that. And then I have a lot of other podcasts, or I've had paranormal investigators on that I specifically interview as far as where have they investigated, what tools do they use, what resources do they have, what do they prefer, just because everybody's different and they might have something that somebody else has, or vice versa. So I have those on there. I had some people that are UFO like sighting / alien abduction researchers. They also have a book. They're actually the ones, I just released their episodes not that long ago. So that was Leslie and Stephen Shaw.
You should get in touch with Dean McMurray.
Send me that so
yes,
I can
definitely.
write it down. And I don't know why this thing won't.
But we've had him on the show previously.
Yeah, authors, investigators, other podcasters. Some of the ones I try to find, like, reach out and be like, has anybody investigated this place? If I haven't investigated it, has somebody else, because then I can insert their experiences in with my research, because I feel like that kind of adds a little validity, because I'm like I said, I'm skeptical, but I am open-minded. It's really kind of a nice combo. And I feel like it does add a little more veracity to it if you have a person who's actually encountered something instead of just saying, oh, well, Jim, Bob, and Susie Q reported this happening and 20 years ago. So I like to get that in there. We've done cryptids are my favorite. I'm not gonna lie, sorry, but cryptids are my favorite. And just the
damn
weird
you
thing.
ghost aliens and conspiracyists.
Yep, Snallygaster's my favorite. Snally's the best. And I like to get into that. If there's something like around Christmas, I like to do certain things. Like I did, my first episode was released on Christmas, and I did the Yule Lads because I wanted something that was not the typical Christmas stuff. I like the weird things. I like to try to find things that not everyone has covered. Kind of like the Betty and Barney Hill thing. I don't know.
There's always the plausible theory of the Loch Ness monster. Are you familiar with the Loch Ness monster?
Yes.
Have you gone to Scotland or no?
I would love, if anybody wants to buy me a ticket, I would love to go. But I'm just not sure because I've watched a lot of documentaries about Nessie and stuff like that. And as far as what they're finding,
would you say is definitely not real? Is there one that you could say for sure you are calling bullshit?
Veggie Man.
What's that?
The Veggie Man.
The Veggie Man. Now explain the Veggie Man. That's the first I'm hearing of the Veggie Man.
I've never heard of the Veggie Man.
I like the ones that you don't hear a lot of. So he was, oh my gosh, was it back in the 40s or the 50s maybe? Anyway, this guy was out hunting for, what was it? Some sort of large rodent out in the woods. And he's walking through and he comes across this crossing and he sees this thing that kind of looks similar to if the Cabbage Patch and Gumby had a baby. There's this thing. It's leafy. It's got long stick-like appendages and arms and legs, and it's got
I got it right here.
Rotating red and yellow eyes to mesmerize the victim.
Yep, I got it right here. West Virginia has played a host to an extraordinary number of unusual creatures. They range from the wildly known Mothman of Point Pleasant to Flatwood Monster of Braxton County. Few people, however, even within the state itself, have heard the strange case of West Virginia's own Vegetable Man.
Yeah, the Veggie Man.
The Vegetable Man or Veggie Man was said to be very tall, arguably 7 foot, thin, with semi-human shape. It also,
by the way, Kevin, Broccoli Man was already taken.
Broccoli Man was taken, so they had to call it. Well, I'm pretty sure broccoli is a word that they don't know how to spell so much in West Virginia. Throwing it out there. It also appeared to be partially.
But they can clearly spell vegetable.
They can clearly say vegetable. They can't spell it. They've heard it so much.
Veggie tables,
exactly.
Veggie table man.
They made it really easy for them. In 1968, in the woods around Fairmount, West Virginia, Jennings Frederick. Now, you know he's a hillbilly when his name sounds like two last names. Jennings Frederick he was out for a hunt. As he moved through the woods in search of game, Frederick heard an odd noise of two people, brother and sister, fondling each other. It sounded like
not it.
That's right. It sounded like a record player. I know there's a raging incest in West Virginia. That's why Virginia cut their arm off on that idea. You know, Jennings would go on to say that the being looked weak and sickly. The jabbering increased. Suddenly, he could make out the woods. You need not fear me. I wish to communicate. I come as a friend. We know of you all. I come in peace. I wish medical assistance. I need your help, said the Veggie Man. With that,
now I heard.
So Natasha's calling bullshit on the Veggie Man.
Now I've heard that the Veggie Man is Italian, and he grew up on a ranch.
What about Rubber Band Man?
Why he like to go for a dip in the creek?
Frederick then claimed to hear a deep humming from the other side of the hill. He surmised that it might have been the sound of a ship taking off. Might have been a ship. Might have been a ship. So you are calling bullshit on that one, Natasha.
What is the sighting?
Is it because there's that new conspiracy theory out there that there is no such thing as vegetables?
What?
You haven't heard that, have you?
No.
So they're saying that there is absolutely no such thing as a vegetable. It's more of a culinary terminology than a reality of a section of food. Tomato is a fruit. Carrots are counted as a root. And the list goes on and on and on.
Sense.
Vegetables are not a thing. It is just a culinary terminology. So when people call themselves vegetarians, they don't know what they're talking about.
Blown.
Mind is blown. It just means that they don't eat meat is what they're.
So here's a good one for you. Here's a question. If you were to be a cannibal, do you think a meat eater would taste different than a vegetarian?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
A corn-fed cow and a grain.
Give me the Pepsi challenge on that one. And I would yeah, say that I would say
and
that
the only reason why that is actually true is because have you ever had grass-fed beef
exactly what I was saying
to a commercial cow beef?
I would say
there's
this
a difference.
That the person, if I was going to eat two people and one was a vegetarian and one was just eating both meats and vegetables, the person eating both meats and vegetables would taste like they have a little bit of more nutrition, and the other one just eating nothing but vegetables would probably taste like a pussy.
Wow.
I know. I did that.
Yeah, you went there.
I did.
I'm trying so hard. Can you...
It's okay. You can laugh. That was a funny joke right there.
Share the link to this to my thing so I can find it. I still can't freaking find it.
I sent it to you in Messenger.
Fuck me. Jesus.
I'm still giving myself a pat on the back for that underrated vegetarians are pussy joke.
But, there's probably 3, and now we're gonna take a small little trip into cryptid conspiracy and creature lane. I would probably say that there's 3 in general major folklores that are in the United States right now. And number 1 would definitely be
Bigfoot.
Sasquatch.
Yeah.
Bigfoot, Sasquatch. Is that the same as like a chupacabra?
Not even close.
No?
No,
not even close.
Not even, okay, what is the huge difference between chupacabra and Bigfoot then, since they're not even close?
Not even close.
There's got to be a big difference. One
Get
has
your shit together.
Come on, Kevin.
Come on.
Who are you?
Well, the American chupacabra is also bullshit.
Yeah, that's true too. So he's been known as the stink ape,
skunk ape,
the yeti. The Canadians actually have it as a different name as well, right? Just not as like as a Sasquatch.
There's a wood booger, Sasquatch, skunk ape, swamp ape, yeti.
I want to say there's one more, but
oh my gosh, my peeps are gonna be screaming at me. Sorry guys.
It is what it is. It is what.
Oh, look!
Oh, there it is. Look at that.
Hi guys.
So of course the Sasquatch being number 1. Number 2, I know is a kind of a mixed bag of emotion, but it's the Mothman / Jersey Devil.
Whoa, not even close.
No, 2 separate things.
2 separate things.
2 separate things. Okay. What?
I think the Jersey Devil is a hockey team, Tony.
Well, yes, but no. I actually met a descendant of the original family that started, like that birthed the Jersey Devil. So it was like the woman had a shit ton of kids. She didn't want any more kids. She got pregnant. She was like, I don't want this kid. Like, you could take it, whatever. And so supposedly when she birthed this unwanted child, it came out with like horns and hooves. It was like the devil, the Jersey Devil. And it took off into the woods, and now it, I guess, hunts in the woods. Mothman's totally different. He's supposed to be this like harbinger of doom and all that stuff.
The incumbent of death itself, for like a no, I guess the story goes with the Mothman that if you happen to see the Mothman, it means that death is coming relatively soon. Not necessarily for you, but in the area.
Yeah, say some sort of catastrophic event.
Mother Leeds' 13th child, according to popular folklore, the Jersey Devil originated with a Pine Barrens resident named Jane Leeds, known as Mother Leeds. The legend states that Mother Leeds had 12 children, and after discovering she was pregnant for the 13th time, cursed the child.
She sold that kid to the devil.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I would too if you're 13, if you're already 12 deep and now here comes another. I mean,
what's another one? By the time you have 13, the other ones can raise.
Now, there's only 3 people in existence that have sold themselves to the devil. Number 1, Beyonce. Number 2, Madonna. And number 3, Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves.
There was a guy that sold his soul to the devil at a crossroads. He was a musician.
Charlie Daniels?
No, it was like back in the day. Like he was
Bruce Springsteen. I don't know. There's a ton of them that have sung songs about it.
Oh, what is his name? But he like had this whole thing where like he went out, supposedly sold his soul to the devil, and then went back in and then played, and it was like
the devil's name, by the way, Tony, is John Milton.
Oh, John Milton. Okay.
Yes, John Milton, and his son's name is Kevin Lomax.
Oh.
Yes. And yeah.
Well, thank you for being both informative.
That is from the movie Devil's Advocate.
Yes, correct.
Keanu Reeves.
Yeah. Number 3 for me would probably have to be Lake Champlain's Nessie.
Oh, Champ.
Yeah. Probably three of the biggest folklore, cryptic, whatever is the biggest
big skeptic,
sight unseen, of course.
Natasha, the thing behind you there with the glowing right there.
Yeah, that was my cat ball. That's what my ghosts hit whenever they want my attention. Usually when they think something's funny, they'll hit it, or if they want me to tell them something, then they hit it.
That is so strange.
That's why I leave them out everywhere. Actually, that one's never gone off before, so that's a new one.
Huh.
So.
Well, tell the ghost that if they do plan to go online to any website and merchandise, they can go to the Podguyz Podcast or merchbooth.com. You go to merchbooth.com, you go to the categories list of different podcasts category and scroll on down to the Podguyz Podcast and hit the link and it'll take you right to the mini store right there.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yes, it will not let me add a photo to the chat.
What kind of phone do you have?
An iPhone.
An iPhone. I got an iPhone 7 Plus. I can add a whole bunch of stuff going on. Oh, you mean live to Tony's
yeah.
To Tony's live. Okay.
I can put stickers on here, but I can't put whatever.
I think she's right about that, Tony. Yeah.
I'll send them to you on the thingy, Maduji.
Yeah, that's perfect. Perfect.
That was real specific.
All right, Natasha, let's get
sir.
into the nitty gritty. We're going to get into more nitty grittiness.
All right.
In your career, in your lifetime, of course, you have heard many a story. Which one sticks out the most as far as the people that you have interviewed, the evidence that they have brought forward? What is the most unbelievable story that they have brought to you?
Like unbelievable, just being outstanding, but I still believe it, or that because I haven't really read across anything. Well,
we could go either way. We can go either way. Totally up to you.
Okay. The most skeptical story that I have gotten was actually in my listeners episode, which no offense to this guy, whoever you are. Sorry, I forgot what I renamed him. I gave him a funny name. Where he thought he was a reincarnated Apollo astronaut that was killed by aliens. And he was having flashback dreams.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
That sounds like he might have just watched Apollo 13, fell asleep.
Now, I have had similar, I guess. I mean, I did have one weird thing with aliens once, and that was it. It was just, it was kind of, I don't know, it just seemed like it was a lot. It to be like one thing, it was a lot. And I think maybe it's because I don't know enough about what happened, or I didn't, I've never researched, Apollo or whatever. So I don't know enough of the information to know what lines up and what doesn't. But as far as a oh shit story, hands down, Matt. So my episode with Matt from Planet 412. Sorry. Did you guys hear that?
Yeah, we could. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, that thunder is great.
It's really bringing up, it's giving me a lot of anxiety. But Matt's from Planet 412 with his Dogman encounter it's pretty crazy. And there's a lot of outside information and things that happened like later that really kind of bring it in, because at first I was like, well, I don't know, but some of the things that happened afterwards, and just to hear him tell his, about his encounter, you can tell like he's not lying. Like he 120%, like this happened to me. And that really hit me a little hard. And I was like, oh shit, maybe there is something to this Dogman thing. Like, because I'd never heard a whole lot about it until he came on the show. And then I was just like, whoa, like that was, so I highly recommend it. He's on all kinds of stuff too. And it's amazing.
Now, there are 5 legendary creatures that are believed to be in Pennsylvania alone. And I don't know if you've heard of many of them.
Okay.
There's one that's actually missing, believe it or not. And it's more of a local legend than it is a well-known legend. Okay. But we're going to go into them little by little. Okay?
Oh, no, we have sirens.
Perfect.
Ambulance, not like,
Oh, okay, good.
Not the sweet song.
I'm like, yeah, that's time to go inside. Yeah. So in the desolate acres of forests and mountains that make up much of Pennsylvania, of course, animals including black bears, foxes, many deer, occupy the terrain of Pennsylvania in general. Now, perhaps, just perhaps, there are many other creatures out there. One of them is supposedly Squonk.
Oh, the Squonk.
The Squonk.
I'm throwing in the towel on that one.
Calling bullshit.
All right.
There it is.
Natasha, but tell us why you are throwing in the towel on that one.
Okay. Out of all the crap I've ever heard of, researched anything, I never heard of the Squonk until last year I went to CryptidCon. And it's the description of it, it doesn't make sense. I personally haven't, again, I did not research it, so I'm sure there's maybe some sightings or something out there. I just don't know of any, but everything was so theatrical on how they presented it at the conference that it made it very hard for me to believe that it was.
Tony, do you have that description in front of you right now?
I do, actually. I do.
All right.
So the Squonk is reportedly covered in warts and moles.
Okay, that could be anybody.
It is a supposed half pig, half man.
Also could be anybody in Pennsylvania.
Big fucking
also true. And makes a very loud shrieking, snorting, and scream.
Hold on, Tony. This isn't I know who that's Newt Gingrich. That's not a
that son of a bitch is loose again.
That's not. He hangs out. You know what, Natasha? He hangs out in the hills of Pennsylvania, covered in warts and moles. Looks piggish, and I don't know, man. Newt Gingrich all over the place.
How dare he? How dare he? Son of a bitch.
Now,
number
it just does sound like a really unkept person. You know, like just really.
I can't do that. I have too much lipstick on.
Number 2 on the list is the Raystown Lake, also known as the Raystown Ray.
Okay, all right.
I think I have heard of this one.
Okay.
Do you hold the towel? Or are you throwing the towel on that one, Natasha? You hold it?
I have not done enough research to throw the towel or not.
Holding the towel.
Okay.
Towel is being held. What's the description on that one, Tony?
Now, the description on that one in particular is in Raystown Lake near the center of the state in Huntington County.
Okay.
It is the largest lake in Pennsylvania. It
Not
is
Erie.
also
Not
the
Erie.
home-
It's
I'm sorry?
not Lake Erie, one of the Great Lakes.
No. One of the largest lakes in Pennsylvania.
Okay, one of those.
Itself in the state.
Gotcha.
Yeah, in the state.
Landlocked. Gotcha. Yeah.
Not a sea monster, a lake monster.
Hmm.
His name is
seem
Ray.
like, hold on, Tony. I gotta point this out. Those seem
Ready?
like the easiest monsters to catch. You get all the water out, and there it should be, right?
Yeah. Oh,
Right?
yeah, of course. Yeah.
You paying for this?
I'll listen. If we're $36 trillion in debt, what's a couple more monopoly dollars? Who cares, right? Just suck it all out, you know.
What about all the people that get their water from the lake?
People could move. Just get get them some Aquafina or have it sponsored by Dasani. Say that we're
Those
finding
are the worst waters you could ever drink.
Oh, the worst.
Nah,
Yeah.
we got worse. We got
Certified tap.
Flint, Michigan's got Coke on tap right now. If you've ever seen the way their water
True.
comes down, holy crap!
Now, the description of the Raystown Ray is supposedly a black blob that moves through the water very, very quickly. And there are even a few photos of a strange shape in the lake itself. Now, they say it is in the shape of a ray, therefore, hence the name, of course, Raystown Ray.
Are you sure it's not just an oil slick? Sorry, I can't say the word.
The oil slick?
Yeah.
It could be.
Sorry.
But they see the dark shape moving in the water at least 50 yards out very, very quickly. Some people thought it was a beaver, but at that speed. Now, a beaver, you would think.
That's an angry beaver.
Yeah, an angry beaver.
Sorry, I've been watching Angry Beavers on Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon.
Nick, I don't mind cartoons being on Nickelodeon. Real people, though, seem to have a little bit of a difficulty working around production people that should be on a list.
It is the only thing famous in Raystown, by the way. And you can buy Raystown Ray merch in Raystown. There's the flag. There it is. As soon as they sell merch.
Look at that. They turned it into an episode of all Scooby-Doo episodes, like, well, we were bringing in some money. It's like, well, now your town is broke, you scumbag. I was going to get away with it too until you kids came here and ruined the 20s and 30s of dollars we were
came
making.
in, you dirty rat bastards. Sorry.
Yeah.
I went a little dark there.
Well, we solved the supernatural crime. It's like you put them out of business. They weren't doing anything harmful immediately, but that's all right. Scooby-Doo.
Now, Kevin, number 3 on the list is one from Clinton County, Pennsylvania. Clinton County.
Yeah.
It is called the Gowoggle.
The Gowoggle.
The Gowoggle, yes.
It sounds like bullshit.
Yes.
It really sounds like bullshit. It's almost like some guy who wanted to sell something one day asked his 4 or 5-year-old kid to name a monster.
He found it. He was over there gurgling salt water because he had a sore throat. And that's when they told him to come up with the name.
The Gowoggle. The Gowoggle. Now, this particular cryptid creature, whatever it may be, looks kind of like a wolf walking on 2 legs, except
That's a
it has
dog man.
pretty much like the dog man. Yes. It has claws for hands and hooves for feet.
Oh, well. Goat man and dog man had a baby.
I'm calling this one Man Bear Pig.
No, the hooves.
Super cereal,
apparently-
guys.
Oh, look, I thought that was funny too.
Man, bear, pig.
Oh, man,
Now
that was
the-
getting a kick out of you guys.
The monster is distinct from others in that it is conjured by a witch.
Thank you.
And the Gowoggle was in 1870, which fits the story of that particular storyline. And since the great historian Lou Bernard, by the way, Lou Bernard of Pennsylvania, came up with this particular story, it has been difficult to track because of its hooved feet. Who the hell says that?
That's bullshit. A person that doesn't know how to track says that.
Do they
100%.
have a lot of hooved animals around? Are they
I'm
very
calling
heavy
bullshit
in the
as well.
bovine industry?
You could throw the flag if you'd like to.
I know me and Tony have tried to track Lizzo before by seeing how many McDonald's wrappers were along the fucking trail one day, and we found her. We found her real easy.
That's true. That's true.
We just looked for a place where there was shade, but there were no trees because of the fat joke. Insert fat joke.
That was me. How'd you know where I was
that was really mean, Kevin. How dare you?
Fuck her.
We're not fattest.
Hey, I have to live with my.
I am the fattest.
I have to live with my phobia every day, Tony. Every day.
I know.
Lizzo called me fat phobic, and I said, "How dare you disgrace my mental illness? How dare you mental illness shame me, you fat piece of shit?" And then she was like, there it is again. And then she called me racist. I said, I don't even know what you are. I'm blind. How can I be racist? But it was the internet, so who cares? I'm not really blind,
Now, there is a Dogman story from Pennsylvania, of course. In Montgomery County, Pennsylvania.
One of the worst
called
counties.
The Bryn-Athan Beast. It is a Dogman creature seen in several regions like Bigfoot that looks like a tall canine walking on two legs. And folklore traces the Dogman as early as the 1700s. But everyone in town knows about the beast, apparently, said a local paranormal investigator to Bucks County Courier-Times. And according to the stories, the beast is a large dog-like creature that walks on four legs and two legs as well. One resident who was the first to see the monster says that he and a friend spied the strange creature on a baseball field 32 years ago and decided to chase it down.
One does.
Hey!
It's a posse. Let's go.
It clearly ran from them, but then turned around and then chased them. The friends only just got away.
Natasha, have you ever been on a hunt? She's
Yeah.
through the flag. She threw the flag. You've never been on a hunt before for some of these entities?
I've never been on a hunt for any creature. And part of that is because I have a theory, which makes me not ever want to go out there and look for it.
Perfect.
Yeah. So we'll start with mainly Bigfoot. Okay. I know a lot of people that go squatching, and they've asked me if I've wanted to go because I'm, the closest place that's supposed to be really like happening is Brown County State Park.
Perfect.
And I mean, it's a bit of ways, but it's drivable. And I was like, and no, thank you. And they're like, well, why not? Because they're like, we, a lot of times we don't run across anything. I was like, no. I said, because let's think about this. If a lot of the encounters with Bigfoot, people experience issues with some sort of almost like a pulse or like some kind of vibration or like they sense something, right? Your electronics get funky, that kind of like a spook, right? Where it can affect things with electromagnetic type things. Well, I'm a little weird, and I have actually been told.
No way! Stop it!
I don't believe it.
Yeah,
I'm throwing the flag on that one.
Bullshit!
Nothing about your whole image right now comes off as weird at all.
Yeah,
thrown it in there.
People that have nothing to do with anything related to paranormal or anything. So I went to school and I have a degree in massage therapy, and one of the things we had to do was we had to work on the other students for like credit and all this stuff, and everybody found out that if you touch me, like my feet or like my hands in particular,
you'll get punched in the face.
Right in the face.
I throw hands. No, but
easy lesson to be learned: never touch Natasha.
But they found out that I kind of generate what feels almost like a low grade current, like almost like when you stick your finger and you get shocked.
You're the energy vampire.
You've
done it yourself.
So, but what's weird is it's like everybody noticed it and they were all really confused. It was just a big ordeal one day. And so I give off, and I think that's one of the reasons why I can hear, see, feel these things that other people can't. And I think that because I am a beacon, because I give that off, they're then attracted to me. So I don't want to go walking through the woods when a creature that could be freaking massive, and I don't think that they're nice things. I think they are, I mean, if they're there, they're animals. They will kill your ass and not think twice. And I don't want something like that knowing that I am out there.
And by the way, Natasha, that goes into number 5 of the 5 biggest monsters, the Suskin Screamer. The Screamer. Now, apparently, the Suskin Screamer is a Yeti, Bigfoot.
I have never been in Pennsylvania.
Whatever you may want to call it.
Thank you.
Some people claim that the Suskin Screamer is nothing more than 18-wheelers using their air brakes down a hill. And the echoing through the valley happens, and it sounds similar to a scream.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, that's moonshine for you.
That's a lot of loneliness right there.
Yeah.
And maybe some Appalachian inbreeding. Possibly. Just saying.
So now, Natasha, you said that you're married, correct?
Yeah.
So when you were on your first date with your husband before you guys got married, when did you feel it was appropriate to share any of this with him?
Oh, he knew. I shared it with him before we were even married.
I understand. No, yeah. On date number 1, you're just like.
To be fair, before we were even dating, I just showed him my tattoos.
And he was instantly in love. He was just like, boom.
He was like, whatever you tell me from this point on, I will never question. Those must be some powerful tattoos right there.
Oh, they are.
Tattoos done.
Huh?
Where'd you get your tattoos done?
I have what place did them, or where are they?
Also that,
they're kind of everywhere. I have one behind my ear. I've got some on my shoulders and top of my back, and obviously here and around.
Just seeing if you wanted to shamelessly plug a tattoo artist that might be struggling right now, but
someone that you love, someone that you would never ever cheat on and go to.
Scars and Stories in Terre Haute, Indiana, and there's a lady there named Rachel, and she is amazing.
Rachel, you're amazing.
Yeah, I actually followed her from one place to another when she swapped, because I can't go anywhere else. I love her.
She's a swapper.
You said we were taking a break.
Yeah. But I have them that are it's up my side and down and around, and they're on my legs, and yeah, they're everywhere.
Very nice. Very nice.
Very fair.
And how often is your new episodes of your podcast coming out? Are you every week?
Every Wednesday at 2 a.m. Eastern time.
2 a.m.?
Woo.
Yep.
Whoa.
I schedule them ahead of time so they come out before everybody goes to work, so they can listen on their way when they're in.
There you go.
That's true. By the way, you can find that on Spotify, everywhere that you stream.
Everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere that you stream a lovely episode of a podcast. Of course, you can hear it.
We will have a link in the comments for sure.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Yeah, between that, I say I'm everywhere. I'm on all social media. I am on all. I'm even on platforms I didn't even know existed. I pulled my stats and I was like, "What is this?"
Yeah.
I was like, oh, "Okay, that must be the people in Africa." I don't know.
Natasha, if people were going to reach out to you, what is your choice of messenger? Would you like them to reach out to you on Facebook? Would you like them to, how would you like them to reach you?
Probably best so that they don't get lost in the mix, because this is not my only job. Things get a little crazy. But if you go to the website, like we mentioned before, there is a contact form. You can fill that out and it'll actually go to my email. Or you ready for the most on point email in the world? Ready? Cryptids, creeps, and conspiracy @gmail.com.
Oh my God.
I know.
We also have one kind of like that. It's the Podguyz Podcast @gmail.com. Talk about locking that
shit. That segue in.
Yeah.
Boom. Gotta drop the mic.
Yeah. That's how it's done, ladies and
Well,
gentlemen.
thank you very much for taking the time out to come on our
Thanks
show.
for
We really
inviting me.
appreciate it. I hope you had fun.
Fun. Yeah, it's
Um,
super fun. And you got to visit, one of my visitors was saying hi. So
I love it. I love it. Tell him I said hi as well. Never visit. Yeah.
okay.
just-
They
Yeah.
usually
Yeah. You can
don't
say right
go-
there.
They don't go far from me, so
Yeah. Good. That's perfect.
we have a whole posse over here. It's like a gang.
Aw.
Gang. All right. Maybe they are gang members.
The
You never know.
ghost gang.
Could be. Could be. Yeah.
I should get us all jackets with patches for the ghost.
You need soul patches.
There you go.
I've
Soul
tried.
patches.
I can't
Yeah.
grow one.
I know.
Because they're ghosts. Because they're ghosts. You know, they'd have soul patches.
I know some.
Anywho's,
Yeah.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you go check out Natasha. And of course, Cryptid Creep and Conspiracies. Check it out on wherever you stream your lovely podcasts. Of course, we're the Podguyz Podcast every Monday, 10:15 Eastern Standard Time. Go to the Podguyz, PodGuyz, podcast.com. Of
I
course,
even
to
have
get
a
our show
YouTube.
merch as well, you can always find
Yeah.
Sparky. He will be back soon, of course, in a few more weeks. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Make sure you share, link, subscribe, do everything. All the things. And
It's a
we'll talk
party.
to you next week. We have we got a great show coming up next week. Steve Corbett.
Corbett's back.
I know.
Talking politics and more. See what is going on with Steve Corbett's life right now with his new book out. He's writing poetry. He's all over the place. We're going to get it all down. You'll see weekly.
I write cryptid poetry.
Cryptid poetry.
I believe that.
I'm saving up a bunch because I want to get them published at one point.
Just do a
Austin once
self-publish.
again.
Just do a
So
self-publish.
you should get a ghostwriter.
But I want to have one where it's broke up by like cryptids and then haunted places and stuff. And I want to do like all of that. And so they have their own little thing.
Perfect. Thank you guys for watching. We'll catch you soon. Have a great night. Bye, everybody.